What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. The New York Jets decide to rest their starters in the final preseason game. And the last day of Jets training camp, my final thoughts on camp. So it is official out of Robert Saleh's mouth. The New York Jets are resting their starters.
Plan for the last day. Is this a light day? Or?
Yeah, so today is like so we've kind of been simulating our in-season schedule. So yesterday was a Thursday. Today is a Friday, so it's kind of a fast Friday. Red zone work, get them in, get them out.
Have you told the players your plan for Saturday, and if so, can you share it with us?
Yeah, it's going to be consistent with what we've done the first two games.
So Adrian and Peasley will start.
Yeah, so Adrian will take the first half this week, and Peasley will take the second half.
That means no Aaron Rodgers, no Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, the whole thing. No starters in this game. We're going to get instead the Adrian Martinez experience in the first half. Second half will be the Andrew Peasley experience. So unfortunately, we are going to get a game that is going to be closer to the Panthers game that we just saw a week ago. So very quiet, not a whole lot going on there. I also really wouldn't expect to see Olu Fashanu, because he was banged up this week, and I just don't think it makes sense to risk him. A guy like Braylon Allen, I wonder how many reps he's going to get. He's going to play a bigger role, and yes, he's technically not a starter, but I don't think we'll see as much Braylon Allen, Will McDonald, Malachi Corley, some of the guys who are technically backups, but going to play bigger depth roles for the New York Jets this year. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be a lot of Valladay and Brandon Smith receptions and Zach Kuntz targets, like guys who probably aren't going to be here in a few days. The Jets have to, and the rest of the league has to, by the 27th, get their rosters down to 53. And it's going to be a really tough decision on that. And in the second half of this video, I'm going to get into, in my final thoughts, guys who stood out as surprises in a positive way and some of the bigger letdowns. But it's not going to be easy for Joe Douglas and company to come up with this list. Got to talk about it. Robert Saleh was asked about Hassan Ridge, if he has enough time to get back and play, and he says, I don't know.
Now that camp is over and you're shifting into regular season mode, what is your confidence level that Hassan will report in time to play week one?
I don't know. Honestly, I haven't really thought about it.
This is dark cloud is a stretch. Like dark cloud is way too big, but this is just a frustrating thing from camp. It's a little like if they only figured out how to get Hassan Ridge into camp and ready and playing for this team right now, then there would be everything coming up green, everything coming up New York Jets. That's really the only gripe that I have with training camp so far. And so far, it's over now, which is terribly sad. Happy and sad. I'm ready for the regular season to come. I love regular season. I love that their games are here. The long wait is finally over. But doing these training camp recap videos every day, going through the press conferences and who played well and who stood out, is really exciting because it's our first taste of football being back, and I'm going to miss it in a way. I'm going to miss it. I'm excited, but I really enjoyed doing these videos, so I hope you liked them. But anyway, this is just my only gripe. And I'm not saying like fold the franchise, don't even try this year, it's all over. That's not the point that I'm trying to make here. I just really hope that you could see that the Jets are a significantly better team with Hassan Ridge on it than not on it. And we are trying to see the Jets win a Super Bowl this year, and they have a significantly better chance of doing that with Hassan Ridge than without. He's their best pure pass rusher, or would be their best pure pass rusher. Yes, you have Will McDonald, who was a first-round pick last year, and I'm excited about his potential, but they needed another guy like Ridge, and they still need a guy like Ridge, and it's just been really frustrating. And again, not like an annoyance. I'm not going to say black cloud, because I think it's overall been pretty positive for the New York Jets through training camp. I think they've looked good. There's some days where the defense looks really strong, other days where the offense looks really strong. I think the offense has looked better than what it did a year ago because of the improvement on the offensive line. I think they are better equipped to deal with injuries on the offensive line than they were a year ago. And like, I'm just ready for the regular season in that way. But again, toughest test week one against the San Francisco 49ers, team that won the NFC last year. and you might have to do it without your best pass rusher. Best pass rusher. That was hard. Is tough. Now, granted, they're dealing with some things, Ayuk and Trent Williams and Christian McCaffrey, and like San Fran has some issues of their own. But still, I want this team to be at a full 100%, and it's not right now, and it's annoying. Okay, so biggest surprises in a positive way. I have 5 guys on this list. 4 guys on this list. We start with Takk McKinley. So I really didn't think all that much of the signing when the Jets decided to bring him in. Thought, all right, former first-round pick. Was good at one point in his career as kind of a situational pass rusher. Bounced around the league the last few years. Hasn't really looked good. Has come into training camp and preseason and has really stood out as a major, major contributor, which is great. I love that. I think he went from someone who was, who'll compete for a roster spot with, if you asked me a month and a half ago, I would not have thought that Takk McKinley would make the team. But now it's getting to the point where I'd be disappointed if he didn't make the team. The guy did all he could and then some to get here and get on this roster. And he's looked like their best edge rusher of the guys who have played in the preseason. Obviously, Jermaine Johnson is their best all-around edge rusher, but Takk McKinley from top to bottom has been really, really good. Also, Brandon Codrington at returner. I don't know if he makes the team because of the just how difficult, again, it's going to be to narrow this thing down to 53, and he doesn't give you a ton at corner. He's kind of just a special teamer, but him being as good of a returner as he was is a pleasant surprise for me, and he might have a chance to make this team. John Simpson, obviously we know is going to make it. He was signed to be a starter, but I'm going to give John Simpson some credit. I didn't love the free agent signing. I thought, the value on it was fine, and, that's a good contract, and I think he could be an upgrade at left guard than what they were dealing with. But, I'm not going to lie to you and say I was like over the moon excited. This is a great, great, great deal. But I think he's looked stronger and played a little bit better than I anticipated going into training camp. I think he's looked solid, so hopefully that transitions to the regular season. And then finally, Jarek Bernard-Converse, man, looks like a player. And I had no idea what to expect out of JBC. He moves back to corner. I think he's looked better at corner than he did at safety. And honestly, we didn't really see all that much of him last year as a rookie because of all the injuries. But the Jets looking like they at least have a functional day 3 corner that maybe could just be a depth guy or develop into something down the line is a big plus. And then, of course, we got to get to some letdowns. I mentioned it already, but the Hassan Ridge situation has got to be number 1 on my list. Just really not good, unfortunately. He would be a major piece for this team, and I hope they figure something out. It just doesn't, this feels like it has no end in sight. Who knows, maybe I put the video out and we get the notification from Ian Rappaport or Adam Schefter. That'd be the dream here, but I don't think that's going to happen. And then the second letdown to me is Izzy Abanikanda. Now, he scored a touchdown in one of the preseason games, which is good, but seeing him go from year 1 to year 2, and after they drafted 2 running backs, I thought things were looking bleak for him, and how he was utilized in OTAs and minicamp didn't really give him that much runway here. But even in training camp, like before we had the retirement there of Tariq Cohen, Cohen was ahead of Izzy. Izzy Abanikanda just unfortunately unable to take that step. I would be shocked if he made the roster at this point. I know they usually carry 4 backs, but I think they end up carrying 3. I think Izzy signs somewhere else. I don't think he makes it to the practice squad. I think someone will claim him. There are teams around the league that could still use running back depth. I just bummed it didn't work out for him. So those are my takeaways from training camp. That's pretty much the big stuff that happened today. Very light day after a heavy joint practice day yesterday with the New York Giants. But that's going to do it for me in this video. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you next time.